At first, I thought it was just a coincidence. But when it happened again and again, it became clear that there was something between them. A connection you can't really explain with words, but one you can't ignore either.
What are you doing, honey? You waiting for the deer?
We often let Maple out into the yard. She loved running through the grass, sniffing the ground, stretching out in the sun. And one day, she suddenly stopped by the fence and froze. On the other side were two small fawns, still babies, most likely twins. They lived in the woods behind our fenced yard. Maple didn't bark or pull. She just stood there and watched. Then she took a step closer, then another one. The fawns didn't run away. They watched her too, curious and calm. That's how it all started. Every time Maple went outside after that, she went straight to the fence, and almost every time, they were already there. The fawns would come right up, sniff the air, and look at her. Sometimes they stood there for a long time, as if they were simply enjoying each other's presence. There was a fence between them, but there was no tension at all. We had been watching these fawns since they were born. We remember when they were tiny, barely steady on their legs, staying close to their mother. Their mom seemed surprisingly calm. She didn't panic or chase them away from our yard. Sometimes she would simply walk off into the woods and leave them there. There were moments when we didn't see her for several days, and we started to worry. Neighbors would text each other asking, "Have you seen the mom today?" We seriously discussed whether someone needed to step in and help the babies. But the mom always came back. I knew that does often leave their fawns alone while they go off to find food, and I kept reminding everyone of that. The fawns became part of our daily rhythm. They showed up almost every day. Maple would be running around the yard. We'd be playing fetch, throwing the ball back and forth. She'd be racing around, full of energy, while the deer calmly ate berries from the bushes. They weren't bothered by the movement or the noise at all. It all felt incredibly peaceful. We raised Maple to understand that other animals are not a threat. With the deer, she was remarkably calm. No chasing, no hunting instinct. She was just there, sharing the space. What's interesting is that she can be a bit territorial with other dogs. But with the deer, it's completely different. She's relaxed and confident, as if she understands that they're not enemies and not prey. As time passed, the fawns grew. They got taller and stronger, started traveling deeper into the woods, and didn't come back as often. But when they did, we almost always saw the same scene. Maple walking up to the fence, and the two deer walking straight toward her. Sometimes other deer appear with them. Those deer usually turn and run as soon as they see a dog, but these two stay. They stand face to face with Maple, sometimes even wagging their tails, and Maple wags her tail right back. I really believe they recognize each other, not as a dog and deer, but as familiar beings, as individuals who grew up seeing each other every day and simply accepted that presence as normal. I don't know how long this will last. Nature doesn't promise permanence, but I do know we've witnessed something very rare. A quiet friendship, without words, without touch, without crossing boundaries. And every time I see Maple standing by the fence with those two deer on the other side, I'm reminded that there is far more understanding and trust in this world than we often think. If you enjoyed this story about Maple and her unusual forest friends, like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel to see more touching and amazing stories.